Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. Check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. And also worth noting, when it comes to your these, remember to use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. For your key to the week, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button so you have the world card as your key to the week. So level ups, right? This is the card that shows up when you graduate. This is the card that shows up for you when you are moving ahead in new directions. This is where you effectively sort of step onto a brand new plateau, and it's also a card of communities. So in all of these different areas of your life, these are likely to be some of the considerations that come up. For your actions and options, you've got the Eight of Cups. For a select few of you, this week you might be walking away from a community. You might be deciding that it's time, right? Maybe a group association, maybe you know, a group of people that you study with, that you work alongside. It's probably going to be more on the sort of less formal side of things. I don't see this being a lot to do with the profession. I think this is going to be a lot about friendship groups, group associations, maybe hobby groups, etc. That you're ready now. It's like, you know what? I think it's had its time in my world. It's had its moment in my life. It's time for me to move away from this. In terms of the options that are available to you, you might notice that as soon as you make this decision, something else pops up to almost take its place. I'm not saying I'm not saying don't go for it. Obviously, you have to do what's right for you. My advice to you, the feeling that I have intuitively, is that you want to give yourself space and you want to give yourself time, all right? For your communications and conversations, you've got the Two of Cups. Look, whichever way you slice it, right? Some partnerships and friendships and group associations are coming to an end. Some partnerships, connections and collaborations are just beginning, right? As you know, as they say, this has been the running theme for this week, right? As one door closes, another one opens. It's a cliche, but there's a reason that the cliches last, right? It's because they're accurate. Now, the Two of Cups, like communication, is going to be very harmonious this week, right? You will find that you're having the right conversations. Everybody seems to be in agreement of what you're talking about. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, it could be that you are steering some of your, you know, your peers, or maybe even the subject that you're studying, you're steering it away from what's the word that I'm looking for? Yeah, you're steering it away from the challenge in life, right? You're steering, not the challenge, it's like the subject that you're studying and the people that you're surrounded by see that there is a change that needs to happen in either the material or the delivery of that material that you're studying. And you seem to have a big hand in this, right? And you've got the partnerships, the connections and the collaborators to make it happen. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this would be a really good week to forge connections with the people that you work with outside of the workplace as well, right? Make your colleagues friends, turn them into other types of connections. When it comes to your, oh, come on, brain. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, yes, there might be you walking away from certain clientele or certain arenas of clients or certain sectors, but there is also new partnerships to be made. And this is why I say, like, as some of these things are being phased out, there are going to be new ones that are coming right in at the same time. There are new communities, new commitments, new connections, new collaborations coming in that could be so beneficial for you and your future. So I love this for you. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, I think this week you are very acutely aware of the group associations that you have, and also your, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's like you become really aware of what the people, the groups, the associations that you have say about you, right? How does this put me forward in the world? How do people perceive me through the guise of who or what I'm connected to? For your love and relations, you've got the Death card. Okay, so look, there's no getting around it. It is a possibility that this week, when it comes to your partnership or your relationship, for a select few of you, and you'll know if I'm talking about you. This isn't every single Sagittarius or Sag rising or Sag moon, but for some of you, this will spell the end of a relationship. In particular, the days that you'll want to watch out for are Monday and Thursday. These are the sticky or potentially the problem areas. And if I had to really narrow it down, I would say it's probably going to be Monday straight out of the gate, right? I think there's going to be something that happens this week on Monday when it kicks off, and you're going to be like, you know what, I think this might have made the decision for me. Especially if your relationship is one that's been on the rocks for a very long time, or has been more tumultuous and has been steadily getting worse. When it comes to your when it comes to those of you that are single and looking, this could be that a relationship that has already ended but has been lingering, kind of like a bad smell, finally feels like it breaks. And as soon as you have that moment, by the time you get to Thursday, you're meeting or connecting with somebody new, and you're thinking to yourself like, wow, this is night and day. And actually that situation, or that was hanging around with, or because of an ex, I feel like I'm free of this now. For your money and materials, you've got the Queen of Wands. So you got to set some good financial boundaries this week. All right, like you'll probably need to keep things on an even keel. I will say, for a lot of you, it looks like there's a new earning bracket that is becoming available to you. Remember, the Queen of Wands is an archetype of you in some way, shape or form, so you show up here. When it comes to your finances as well, it could be that a fellow fire sign, so an Aries, Leo or Sagittarius, fellow Saggy, could feature for this. Now, one way that this might show up for you as well is you could connect with what you would consider a financial mentor of sorts. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Queen of Wands is your this it might be that, especially with the World card, this may be where you have to retire something from your diet, from your work, or from your daily schedule. There's something here that you might sort of need to kind of acknowledge, like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Like, my body won't accept it, or whatever the case might be. With that said, your home and environment sector, this is about having to really set some firm boundaries around the home, and it may very well be that there is shifts or changes taking place on a community level that you will need to be an active participant in if you don't want them to affect you personally. All right. Now, another way that this could also show up is maybe you get involved in some kind of community art project or community performance, or something along those lines could actually be really beneficial for you at this time, and actually something that you really enjoy. Like, it's a really interesting week for you guys, because you've got all the elements here, barring the air energy actually. So try not to just do everything instinctually, and at least bring some sort of consciousness to what you're doing. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.